Hi guys, it's Bella Networking Guru and you are watching Bella Networking TV. I have a lovely guest with me today, Claire Burdett, about how to increase your brand using digital marketing. I would love you to drop a comment below. And if you see other people who have a comment and it seems interesting, well, why don't you give them a like? Because all the interaction is going to be really, really great. And guys, I would like you to save the date, Monday the 14th of August. I'm going to be hosting a workshop all about Facebook Live. So I'll talk a bit about that later. But without further ado, I would love to introduce my guest today, which is Claire. Claire, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Claire Burdett. I run the Media Marketing Co, which is a digital and social media agency specialising in visibility for your brand online.
Oh, lovely. And that sort of rolls in nicely to the topic today about increase your online presence, online visibility to attract more clients. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you for coming on my show. I have a little gift for you.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Very kind. It's so nice to see you again.
I know, thank you. I mean, Claire, I have got to say thank you for all the support you've given me, because I do believe I've known you for about 6, 7 years. No, E-Academy.
E-Academy, 9 or 10 years. A very long time. We met networking.
I know. So networking work. So for those of you that don't know, before Facebook Live,
LinkedIn, it was like the precursor.
Yeah, before Twitter, there was a social media called E-Academy.
Yeah.
So if you guys were on E-Academy, please give a thumbs up. So that's like the old school crowd, wasn't it? Oh my God.
Yeah,
you can see my wrinkles. So how's your digital marketing agency?
It's done really well.
Yes.
Yeah. Another lady I met on E-Academy.
Yes.
And I set it up with somebody I fell over on Twitter.
Sure. Because you offer PR, digital marketing,
social media marketing,
yeah,
SEO, and content.
Sure. And if guys want to get in touch with you, what's your website address?
It's the Media Marketing Co themediamarketingco.com.
Thank you, that's great. So, getting on to today's subject, how to increase visibility to attract more clients. Now, I've got to ask, so we're clear, what do you define as online visibility? What really does that mean?
It means that you're in the top 10 to 20% probably of people in your niche. So,
sure.
Obviously, you can't be in the top, unless you're Beyonce or Disney. You're not going to be in the top 10% of the world.
Sure, got you.
But for your niche, you should be visible. That's on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Remembering that Facebook's organic reach is very, very low. And so you're going to have to supplement it a bit with advertising, but you should be up there.
Sure. And would it be correct to say every business sector can be visible?
Yes.
Or is there like an industry or a business owner's sector that they can't use social media?
No.
We all can.
Everybody
even
can.
Joe the plumber.
Yeah, even a jewellery shop who's selling to retailers, or
sure.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. B2B business, yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Sure. So when a client comes to you and has that question, because it's a common question, what are the sort of things you would ask about their business to help you, really do some crunching or brainstorming to get them and increase their visibility?
The first questions are about the brand.
Okay.
Where the brand is situated, what the brand is, who are the clients, what sort of products are they offering, what services are they offering, and how that is positioned within the local or national market.
Sure.
So we can get an idea of where the people are going to be.
Would it be important for your client to have that information about who their competitors are?
Very much so. And if they've got an idea of clearly defined clients, so Mrs. X over here and Mr. R over there, then that really helps.
Sure. Now, a question that a lot of viewers, business owners or SMEs on a shoestring budget may ask, like, if I don't have the budget to start social media marketing with somebody like yourself in the beginning, is it okay to wait, or should I try and do it straight away, or if they can only wait a year, what would you recommend?
Get in there quickly, be very specific about your platform, be very consistent. The more content and news and posts and all the rest of it you share, and the more engaged you are, the more networking you do, not just pumping out your PR and your own stuff, but we say 80-20, 80 of other people's and networking and chatting, 20% of your own content. People get very bored of you always pumping your own stuff out. They want to know what the expert situation is, you know, all the information.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So when you work with clients, how do you allocate time in, like a certain amount of hours for each client? How do you do it? Or is that down to budget?
It'll be down to budget, but also where they want to be.
And should they make that decision, or do you?
Well, we will help them, because it will depend on whether they're very small and local, up to medium-sized and local, medium-sized and national, medium-sized and international. It depends on who they're trying to reach and where, as to what we're doing with them, and whether we're working the social media and the digital media together, or whether we're increasing that and trying to get their website up the rankings, so to get them to the top of Google, and whether that then keys into the SEO. So it's what I call a social media circle of goodness.
I like that, social media circle of goodness, because what you've highlighted there are different goals and objectives of what you want. Can you just talk a bit more about that, where different businesses could want different things, or what could that be?
So say if you're an e-commerce business, then obviously you want your SEO on your website to be on point, because you know the descriptions are very repetitive. Google penalises you for the descriptions, but you also want really good images so that you can share them on Instagram and Pinterest.
Because you're selling that product.
You're selling that product. People buy with their eyes.
Got it.
And also when they're Googling, they want to know exactly what they're buying. So that is very, very detailed work. But also you want your social media to reflect that and boost it.
Right, so that has to be highly integrated.
Absolutely. And hashtags are a big part of that as well, so people can find you. So it all works together. And we always say that if you want to be visible on the website side, then you need to be triangulating your social media so that Google then picks up the pattern and knows, because of the consistency, brand consistency, that you are selling it, and that is the top search term. Now, if you're trying to build reputation, then that's a different matter.
Reputation. And when you say reputation, is that almost like the PR or the personal brand to say I'm the expert? So then would you look at that in a very different way then?
That would be more long articles or of greater weight, selling your expertise, and you might be looking at a blogging platform like Medium or LinkedIn's own blogging platform, and then incorporating that into your social media. To say that you are the expert in what you're selling, so that
an expert, maybe for those that are watching, could that be coaches or trainers
or networking gurus?
Okay, I do write a lot of blogs, so somebody like myself should, like, what percentage of the activity should that be, do you think?
Well, I do think that at least 2 long articles, expert knowledge articles a month is desirable, but I know they're hard work, so at least
2 a month is good. And
then pulling out little snippets, talking about that, perhaps doing a little video around it, using it for tweeting. You know, don't waste anything. That's valuable content.
Absolutely.
And it should be evergreen.
So where you said like 2 blogs a month, a question that I would ask, and a lot of people never know how long, how many words should those articles be?
Well, we say 1 or 2 blogs a week, but they can be short, they can be little ones, but the long ones, we're talking, 700-800 words, because that is an expert length, and then the shorter ones can be under 500. Google likes 300 to 400, but also if it knows that it's a long article of great interest and lots of people have linked to it and they're sharing it, they know that that is an expert article. And it can be then very keyword rich. So it's varying it across, but don't waste anything. Every single one of those should feed into your social media.
Got you. So if I'm writing a blog showing me as the expert with your coach or trainer, then you should put that across all of your digital marketing.
Yeah, and don't just share it once. It should be evergreen. You should be able to get at least 6-8 months out of that.
Oh wow!
At least
6 to 8 months.
Yeah, all of that.
So guys, did you hear that? When you're writing blogs or articles, to really push it that medium and long term to 8-9 months. I guess that makes sense because not everybody reads straight away. And I think we get so many messages that we probably do need reminders.
And that's the other thing. We have something that you may not have heard of called content shock.
Content shock.
Where so many businesses are creating so much content. And it's all pretty much the same. Whatever niche you're looking at is pretty much the same. And people are overwhelmed. They're overloaded. So you need to step, as an expert, you then are stepping away from that and finding the angle or a new insight to share, to write about,
and stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely.
So then, do you agree where there's so many like myths and taglines, so you're never sure? Is it correct then, the saying "content is king"?
Yes,
what do you think about
that? You can't just write the content, you've got to promote the content. So we're back to marketing and networking again. Because it could be sitting on your website, and if your SEO is not on point, or it's clashing with lots of other content, it's not going to get found on Google. And if you're not promoting it on social media and you're not visible on Google, then you're not visible.
Got you, you're not visible.
No.
So guys, the keyword of today is being visible. I have the lovely Claire Burdett, and we are talking about tips to help you guys increase your online visibility to drive more clients. So we were talking about blogs, and it's really important to know the objectives and goals of what you also want.
Absolutely.
So what's your response to, I might be a client, how do you track and measure the success? So you've done the visibility plan.
Yeah.
How can you be sure that what you're doing is working and you're tracking it?
You need to get good with your analytics.
Right.
So each platform offers its own analytics and they're not very good. So it's best to sign up for something that gives you a bit more of insight
and
into
you would
it.
be the expert on that.
Yeah. In fact, I probably should share a list of ones I'd recommend.
Yes.
Then you need to be looking at them. You can't just sign up and ignore them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can make so much effort to like Hootsuite and like Google. Is it not AdWords? The Google link.
AdWords. Oh, Google. Which one?
The one analytics that you can put on the website.
Yeah, Google Analytics.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And then you should go back and periodically check.
Well, we check daily.
Wow.
So if I'm running a campaign, whether that's building reputation, creating expert status, getting visibility, or a sales campaign for a product, for example, then we will be checking daily to see who's sharing, where the money needs to go, because it shifts so fast.
Wow.
And you can waste a lot, as everybody knows, you can waste a lot of time and money on social media.
Well, I'm glad that you raised the money side. Now, when we tend to think about visibility, the first thing that I might make a mistake about, and I'm sure others watching, is the now myth. Oh my God, let me get a Facebook ad, or oh my God, let me get a YouTube ad. And what's your response? Like, when should we do it, or what's the sort of guidance?
You need a plan. You need a marketing strategy.
Right.
Never do things just off the cuff.
I like that.
You've got to be part of your goals. You should know in a year what you want to achieve, and you should be chunking it down into Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, then into months, then into weeks, and then into a daily list of things that are feeding into that.
I'm so glad that you've mentioned that, because there is a buzz with the Facebook ads, and some businesses do feel because other businesses are doing it, I have to. So I look at networking like that as well. Look at what do you need to achieve and write your own plan, basically. Yeah.
And if you're serious about Facebook, you should be mastering Power Editor, because it's a lot more detailed. And
Power Editor.
Power Editor, which you can integrate with your website, so you can get your visitors to your website and you can find them on Facebook and integrate it around.
Sure. So a question I have for you about social media, and you know the strengths of the different platforms.
Yeah.
Which is the best one you really like that you can manage well with, say for visibility?
I think the best one for visibility across the board at the moment is still Twitter.
Really?
Still Twitter and LinkedIn. Those two together are
Really?
like the power couple.
It's so interesting you said that, and I wanted to ask that question. I myself don't just jump to what the industry's doing, because I, like yourself, I will write a plan for my marketing networking strategy. And I took a long time before I used Instagram because I didn't need to.
Yeah.
However, when I expanded my business over to New York, and it was a need for my target audience, I started to use Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's great.
Absolutely, but it depends where, what, how you're doing it.
The thing about Instagram for small business owners is it's quite a high entry point. You've got to have good images and you've got to have a very specific plan. And say you're a B2B or you're selling services, it can be quite hard to get the imagery right, and bad images, let's not go there.
They don't, it doesn't pick up.
Yeah,
You're not going to
so
get the
if you're trying to build an expert status and you're a B2B service industry, then look at LinkedIn, look at Twitter, and then key in your Instagram. But don't go to Facebook, because Facebook is like its own enclosed little world, and it doesn't actually affect your Google.
I'm glad you've actually pointed that out, because many of us may not have really understood that. So guys, if you've just tuned in, you are watching the BellaNetworking Facebook live show. We are here every Monday at 12:15, and guys, we're having a great interacting conversation about how to increase your visibility. Claire is going to be here to answer any questions and comments you have, so please drop any questions you have. And if you want to see the show again, you're going to see that the show will be repeated all through the week. But actually, as you said, it should be even 6 to 8 months. So there you go, it'll be here forever. So I'd love to know, how did you land into the world of digital marketing? What was your background?
Publishing and marketing and media. I was part of the first setup of Web 2. I did back in the day, multimedia, editing multimedia, which took so long to build the multimedia world at that point because the technology was so slow. Then went on to internet radio, and we had to send out floppy disks. Floppy disks for people to load.
I remember floppy
I am that old.
I remember floppy disks. Oh my goodness!
There, I went and moved agency side, and we were building websites and trying to work out how, the best way to build them. So that was really interesting. And then I got into the digital publishing because of the publishing and marketing background, as well as the marketing, and that then became the niche.
So in terms of websites, you've probably seen the growth.
I have.
And the technical, creative sides of websites.
Absolutely. I was trying to think back with my first networking event, and I think it was up here, and it was with Academy.
Yes.
We might have met at that one, actually.
Definitely.
And I met Eonic, who were building websites. This was perhaps 2002, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
And eventually I employed them to build my website for Funky Angel back in the mid-noughties. So that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So overall, within digital marketing, that sits different sectors. What side of digital marketing do you really like the most?
I'm a bit of a geek, and I like the analytics. I like seeing the patterns.
The numbers.
I like the numbers.
Yes.
I like to see how social media and SEO work together.
Lovely.
I love that, to raise visibility.
Sure.
I absolutely love that. I know I'm a bit strange because most people hate
but
analytics,
that's where
but
the
I love
results
it.
take place.
Yeah.
So if you could go back to that early 2000 and could change anything or do anything different, what do you think you might have said to yourself, knowing that technology's changed so much?
I think I would have devoted more time. I would still devote quite a lot of time, but more time. I would have got more help in quickly. I would have tried.
Yeah.
We started on a shoestring, like so many entrepreneurs do.
Yes.
And I would have allocated more budget to actually getting our social media and marketing done by other people earlier, rather than trying to do it all ourselves, because that would have freed us up to actually have invested in knowledge.
Got you.
Yeah, definitely.
So we touched on networking. How do you feel that networking has contributed to the growth of your business and your agency?
Oh, it's essential. I don't think we'd have one. I don't think we'd have a business without networking. Online and offline. We devote perhaps a fifth of our time, maybe a quarter of our time to networking.
Well, as a networking guru, I'm so happy to hear that.
It's actually built into the funnel that is exactly what we have to do.
So I usually have a guest. When I have a guest on my show, they can always ask me a networking question, which I'm going to let you ask in just a moment.
Yeah.
So just think about that question for a moment. Well, I should get this.
Yeah.
So, what's the networking question that you have to ask?
So if your clients are not business owners, where would you recommend people go networking?
Okay. One of the things about networking that has the big misconception, you can only network at a networking event. It has to be business.
Exactly.
Now, I also like to refer to the back in the days before networking was really defined, what they used to do.
Yeah.
So I encourage social networking.
Yeah.
Go to wine tastings, go to gallery openings, go to live music, even whiskey taking, or an art exhibition or a painting exhibition, because we tend to forget that networking is social and it's all about interaction. It's a human nature. Yeah. And sometimes I actually recommend my clients to go more social networking, even if it's like an anniversary or a charity event or a fundraising. Yeah. Somewhere where you do know you're going to meet like for like people, but you're going to be more relaxed.
Yeah, definitely.
And personal does turn into business, and then business turns into personal, because the end of the day, the biggest result is to build relationships and build trust and likability.
Now, what's that saying you have about it being like, now is it dating?
Oh yeah, so I always sometimes refer to networking when people struggle to think of it like dating. Yeah. Now the thing is, we're talking about visibility. Yeah. It's not in your interest if you're just networking, say 2-3 times a year. Yeah. Because if you're single, you're going to be forever single. Yeah. So if you're trying to date, you have to be out there dating. So networking is just like that. You have to be consistent. I know some people don't like it, they don't enjoy it, but if you can be a little bit consistent, or just find a group you like and attend weekly or monthly, even if it's just for 3 or 4 months, but you have to be consistent and commit, you're going to see results. Because the moment you start reducing your activity, just like the visibility, you're going to be forgotten in the world of business.
And that's the same on social media. If you reduce your activity, you become invisible.
Sure. So actually, the visibility topic today was good, because it works for networking.
Exactly.
And it works for digital marketing and social media.
And the other thing I would say is that when you are networking, find out afterwards where everybody is. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Connect with them on Twitter. Find people.
Everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Build your network around you. It's a spider's web.
Absolutely, and that's just like networking. Network everywhere. I say co-working, the hotel lobbies,
on the train,
Starbucks. You know,
you want to be that person who just talks randomly to people.
And then always carry your business cards,
always,
because you just don't know.
Exactly.
It'll be that one day, even when you're running late, and that person can open the door for you.
Yeah, exactly. Or have it on your mobile. You can have your business card on your mobile now.
Absolutely, digital. Yeah. So guys, you have watched the BellaNetworking Guru show, and I've been your host, BellaNetworking Guru, with the lovely
Claire Burdett.